So yeah, the topic today is really about enjoying the journey and how that's going to make you rich. So I'm going to get into a preview of what I've been through. So, it tells me what I got to tell to you, lessons I've had, some of them bad, some of them good. But if I could, I wouldn't go back and start over because, it's all part of the process. So, going to get into why there's no need to hurry. Why get rich thinking is just going to make you worry. Why you should be thankful for the journey. That's the main thing, right? So you should be grateful if you're in a line of work that you don't like. How that even makes sense, right? Why most people don't follow their own path. Break into that math. And end up with how do you know if you're even providing value? So what I got to tell you is my own personal, thing. But before I get into that, I just want to really start out by saying, ask yourself, look at your life, right? Are you in a hurry to get to the next step? Just so that when you get there, you can be in a hurry to get to the next step and then repeat that. Yeah, I don't need that. So that's really a never ending cycle and a way of thinking that comes from a place of scarcity, right? Gonna get into really scarcity and abundance mindsets. So I've gone through the cycle of starting a new business endeavor at least 5 different times in my life. Many more than that of ones that just didn't work out, but at least 5 different times of ones that, I stuck with for a minute that I got some success on. So over the course of these cycles, I've realized that the most enjoyable and exciting part of the cycle is really building the business up from scratch. After I've already done it, after it's already reached its full potential, after I know I did it, that was all great and everything. I felt a sense of accomplishment, a sense of knowledge, more and more strength building a business muscle that I know I can do bigger things in the future. But looking back at everything, right? If I stuck with it too long after it already did what it did, I just lost interest and everything wasn't as exciting and fun and new and everything like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is really I felt the most alive when I was really doing what I was doing just to survive, and I could barely see what I had to do to thrive, but that's what got me through to what I knew and what felt the best. So now I'm going back to the beginning of a new quest. So reaching the monetary goal is always great, but it never brought me much satisfaction. It's creating something from nothing, getting these positive feedbacks from customers. That's really more than any money I ever got. That's really what meant a lot. So when a customer had thanked me and explained how I provided value in their life, that's where I got the most satisfaction. That's where I really felt like I was making something happen. So when other people recognized me for my work, I also received a sense of satisfaction that made it worth what I was doing, what I was pursuing, not just the money, right? The money came and it felt like it was gone overnight sometimes, but the times it stuck around, it wasn't even really I thought it would be, right? Reaching the goals, wasn't what my dreams thought it would be, where I thought I would see all so much, but I still, went back to the bottom to stay in touch because that's where the most satisfaction came from, right? So I remember having requests from multiple, television shows to feature my books, right? I never had that plan. I never had that intention. Just reached out to me and it was one after the other. Maybe after I got 50 books up, something like that, reached out for one set of books. I think it was the first one was a true Hollywood story. And they just were hey, can we use your book for some information on our thing? And I was yeah, I was this is awesome. I was well, I could ask them for some kind of money, but I was no, man, that's stupid. Just go with it, man. Go with the flow. See what happens. So sure enough, money came through regardless, because like what happened was like everybody in their crew must have like ordered a book of that series of books, and it was a series, so it was like 5 different books. So I saw like, maybe it's like $1,000 overnight in sales from that whole series, from just that crew of that TV show that they use that information. And then I had like a few other shows that like wanted to use the books like in the background and bookshelves and stuff like that. And one of the bigger ones where I was like, man, that's pretty cool, is it was some university in Japan, and they were like, hey, can we use this book for one of our exams where people need to really like, it was like a line from the book really in the questions, but it made it so people had to like buy the book, part of some like course or something like that. I didn't really know. I didn't really look into it too much, but basically, I didn't ask them for anything, but the money came back in the end because people had to buy the book to do the research. So yeah, these requests to feature my books came with increased income, but the idea of being recognized for my work in a positive way gave me much greater satisfaction than the money. So overall, I can say that the satisfaction from making money is great, and making more than expected is even better. However, the satisfaction I have from providing value and creating something from nothing is much greater, and it lasts much longer. So I'm going to get into why there's no need to hurry, no rush. When you're doing something you enjoy to make money, you're not in a hurry to reach the end goal, which is in most cases money, or like even if it's a business, right? Even if you get to the top of your market, even if you become the number one business in that industry, there's always another step with that. So most people's business goals in the beginning are really like to support themselves, right? But I'm saying like if you're just enjoying the process, like the money's not even going to be that big of a deal. You're going to find so much more value in just doing something you enjoy every day, where you're the boss, where you call the shots, where your vision is the thing that you're going after in life, right? So that's going to be way better than any kind of money that you can make. So if you enjoy what you're doing, there'll always be a next step to do more of what you love, or a way to take things to the next level, right? You're not thinking about work as how much time you have to trade to get a raise, like how many years till the next step, or how much work you got to put in until you can get to that next stop on the corporate ladder, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so there's always a next step, always more to do, and over time you're gonna find ways to provide more value, more quality value, and this is how you will increase your income, right? It's not about like putting in time or watching the clock, or like, yeah, I put in 40 hours this week, or man, I put in all that overtime, so my bank account's gonna grow. No, it's about finding more ways to provide value, really enjoying what you're doing, so that you really see it, so that you're like connecting with people, and people are giving you feedback, and you're like, okay, well, this is what people like, this is what people don't like, and then over time you can just like transform what you're doing and make it more valuable for people. So that's how you're gonna get that enjoyment from what you're doing. That's how you're gonna make more money, is from the value, not the time. Haste makes waste. Just had to say it. So I'm gonna get into the next thing about why getting rich quick thinking is like a scarcity mindset, right? So most people who get rich quick end up broke shortly after, right? Like winning the lottery, stuff like that. Like they just had all this money on their lap, and they never really got the mindset right from the first time to spend it with the right mind. So, fool and his money is quickly departed. Mindset is still the same. People who get rich slowly over time are more likely to stay rich, because really like they evolved, like they got their mindset right. They put their mindset towards money. They made that decision that they were going to get rich, and then they do what they did to, provide value to people. And it was an overtime thing. So, a lot of even successful people have been through situations where they've made a lot, become sometimes millionaires, and then like lost everything, in a quick amount of time. But then instead of like giving up, they just went back and they were like, well, all I learned, I can just make that money even quicker this time. So they realized like, hey, if I lose everything, I've already done all this. Like I already understand how to provide value. All I got to do is just start over on something new and take what I learned from the last time and make it better next time. So, the mindset of placing money or placing making money over enjoying life is really a scarcity mindset because you think that you need the money to be happy, right? But that's not true. It's more about the journey. It's more about the lessons that you learn. So, when you enjoy the work you're doing every day, the money will come to you. And this is an abundance mindset, right? Because you already feel good. You're already like doing what you enjoy, right? So that's already abundance. Like you're already happy doing what you're doing. Like any earnings you get from that is just really a plus to you. And it's not what you're working for. It's not what you're like, really time wasting at the end of the day just for a paycheck. I mean, you could still work for somebody else and do what you love and like get a paycheck and you're not wasting time. I'm just saying, it's a lot of people out here that are really just like going through the motions just to get that paycheck, just watching the clock. So why should you be thankful for the journey? Because dreading to go to a job you spend the majority of your time at is one of the worst feelings in life. And I've done that, I already know. So many people have heart attacks on Monday morning. And I remember hearing this, it was like on an inspirational like record or recording. But yeah, I found that like that stuck with me. Like that made a lot of sense. I was like, oh man. And he was like, yeah, people watch that football game on Sunday and then they start to like begin thinking about Monday and they start getting all stressed out. And then, Monday morning they're on their way to work and their heart's like, why are you doing this to me? I told you I didn't want to go back to that job. But yeah, man, like I thought that was funny and that really stuck with me. And that was Les Brown too. So look more into his work. Like give thanks for his the value he provides out here because really means a lot to a lot of people. Looking forward to working and enjoying your time doing what you do is one of the best feelings. This will result in more quality work, better health, better work relationships in general, and of course, more money, right? You're going to make more money doing that. If you usually find yourself waiting for the workday to be over, you should really start searching for a new line of work. And then this goes on to really the next point, like why you should be grateful if you're in a line of work that you don't like, right? Because you know that you don't like it. You know that it's not working for you. You know that you're not providing the value that you could be providing. You know you're not using, your fullest potential. So if you know you don't want something, then you have a new journey to look forward to. And there's more to do on your path. You can find a way to make it last and make it better. So, you don't even be worried about the cheddar that you're going to lose from telling the boss that you're out. Finding a new way and not having a doubt that it's going to work. Not being worried about, going through a little bit of hurt just to get the new thing started. So, a lot of people out here, think that doing something that they don't enjoy to make money is a part of life. So they just put up with it, right? A lot of people out here, going to the doctor talking about, man, I don't know why I'm so down all the time. And like, they just take some kind of chemical and then it's like, oh, you're just depressed, take this chemical and then that's what's best for you. But man, that's really like not the way. Like you should be thankful if you feel like something's off, if you feel like something about your life isn't right, you should be thankful that you got that feeling because that's just showing you that you need to take a new path. You need to start something new, right? You're not living up to your fullest potential. There's something more to do. So, one of the worst things you could do is to become comfortable in a situation you don't completely enjoy and stop progressing forward, right? Like sometimes that money's bad. Like sometimes you could be like a year away from that raise and you're like, well, if I just stick it out for this next year, then you do that and you get that raise and you're like, oh, I'm making so much money even though I hate what I'm doing, but that money's coming. So like, why would I leave that alone? I'm just saying, like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not out here providing value, um, you might want to look into something new. So why most people don't follow their own path, right? Most people have already thought about or know what they would enjoy doing for work, but do not start because they do not think it's possible. That's really the main thing I've seen over time. Like, I've done a lot of research into like marketing stuff like that, business stuff like that, where they ask people like, why didn't they even get started in the first place? So many people have so many good ideas. I hear from people all the time that wouldn't even consider themselves to be entrepreneurs, come up with these great business ideas, but they're like, oh, it's never gonna work. And that's the reason, that's the main reason when, this came down to like surveys and stuff like that, is people just don't think it's possible, right? But I'm telling you, like, I've already been through both sides. I've been through that, like, working for somebody else just to like get a paycheck, and I've been through many times of business success and failures. And I can tell you right now, like, it's way more possible. Like, going off and like creating passive income, creating a living from what you enjoy and providing value, to me is way, way easier and way more possible than staying at a job for, however long people think you need to stay at a job to get rich. Because you can see today now people are staying at jobs for less and less amount of time. So yeah, anyway, it's much better to try and fail than to, never try and have regret. The less you have to lose, the more likely you are to become successful. So don't worry about if it seems stressful at the beginning, because at the end, you're going to be winning. That might be my quote for the day. Yeah. Don't worry about if things are stressful in the beginning, because if you just stick to it, in the end, you're going to be winning. So people who start with nothing are more likely to become successful because of the mindset associated with having nothing to lose. And I would really see this as like an abundance mindset, because, it'd be like the other way around is like people thinking like, well, I got this paycheck, I'm going to lose. Like, that's a scarcity mindset, right? Like, that's thinking like that's all you got. Like, there's nothing else coming if you get that little bit of checkup or whatever it is. But abundance is like, no, like I have like every opportunity in the world at my fingertips that I can go for. So no more am I gonna like worry about this like lack. It's all abundance from here on out, right? So really second generation business owners, like people who are given a business, usually handed down to them like from family or however, these are the most likely people to fail. Like, and this is like really like proven throughout history, throughout not just surveys, but like just people like keeping track of business throughout the years. It's like people who don't start the business themselves, they're just given the business, like they're way more likely to fail. It's people, a lot of immigrants, people that come to America with nothing, people that start out with nothing, like those are the most likely people to succeed, right? And it's just because like it's a mindset of like abundance, of like I've got nothing to lose, so like why not go and try it, right? Like, I'm poor, so what have I got to lose? Like, I'm just gonna try it anyway, right? I don't care what anybody's got to say. Now, like, I got so much to lose. I got this reputation. Like, people are gonna say like, oh, that didn't work out. Like, what's this guy doing? He doesn't even have a job. Like, I already been through that, right? Like, I can just tell you right now, like, that's really nothing. Like that'll get old real quick to people, and they'll just stop talking after you just keep doing what you're doing after a while, and you just stick to it, and something will work. So how do you know if you're providing value? Because that's pretty important, right? People will tell you when they're thankful that you have improved their life in some kind of way, like I was talking about, right? And you'll know, like you'll feel that, like you'll be like, oh man, I knew that, like I knew what I was doing would help some people, and I can see that it did, and people are thankful for it, and it makes me feel good, a lot better than like seeing like some numbers in a bank account or some numbers on a check or something like that, right? So you're going to realize that providing value to other people and getting confirmation of this will make you happier than getting paid or seeing the numbers. Just like I say, I had to say it twice because it's so right. But if you're just trying to get rich, you'll most likely find that once you do get rich, if that's your only goal, right, that you're not going to be as happy and fulfilled as you thought you would be. Like once whatever that, if it's $1 million, $10 million, whatever it is, like, I mean, it'd be nice, to have $10 million already. Like, I would definitely be living differently than I am right now. But I already know, like, I wouldn't be much happier. Like, I'd still be looking for, like, a path where I can provide more value to people. And now I would know that that's what's going to really, like, make me happy. And I mean, I know, like, even if I won the lottery right now and I just, like, bought a mansion and went and lived behind my gates in my mansion and, like, had people take care of everything for me, there'd be good and bad. Like, it'd be good in some ways because, it'd be like living luxury, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I can guarantee that at the end of my life, I'll be looking back like, wow, like think of all the stuff I could have done. Like think of all the things I could have done instead of just like spend my money and like, being comfortable. Like think of all the stuff, the changes, the difference I could have made in the world, right? So that's really all I got for today. Hope you got some value out of what I had to say. Go ahead and smash the likes, leave some comments or questions, and subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't already, coming in with new information steady. That's it. I'm out.